this is my first culture war, so I want to say that I have to make a statement, and I'm not here to tell anybody what to think or what to believe, but for me, somebody like that doesn't really have any place in the conservative movement because it's something that is so behind the times. And you can boo and you can do whatever you want to, baby, because I'm going to be me, and I'm still here.
Next question.
What's the question?
My question is largely directed to Mr. Kirk because you were raised as a conservative. Part of the issue I see here is, what's your name, Rob?
Yeah.
So you're saying, oh, you're behind the times, this isn't conservative. Well, we don't want centrists in the conservative movement. We want to retain our core values.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
We don't want drag.
But here's the thing. It's not about what you want, because here's the thing. The beauty about social media is that I can be me and I can bring myself to the table. And it's not about what you want, it's about what the people want. And if there are enough people in this movement that say, hey, Rob is cool, he's gay, whatever, it really doesn't matter what you think. You can say whatever you want, and you can believe whatever you want to believe. But it's not going to stop me from doing what I'm doing. And it's not going to deplatform me.
So my question is, again, it's directed to Mr. Kirk because he was raised as a conservative. As the guy before has said, you've advocated for homosexuality, said that there's a place for the gay agenda within the conservative movement. My question is, and you're also comfortable with transgenders and cross-dressers, I understand. So my question is there any point where conservatives should take a moral stance on Christian morality, or should we abandon it altogether? So in other words, what is what is your brand of conservatism doing to actually conserve Christian morality? If we're ceding to the left on transgender, gay rights, gay marriage, we don't want that in conservatism.
So you don't want him in the conservative movement? I just want to be very clear. Let's just be...
So you don't want me in the movement?
Hold on a second. I want to be very clear. Hold on a second.
Flashback.
Rob, you did not vote for Donald Trump.
I did not vote in the 2016 election.
Tell me why.
I didn't vote in the 2016 election because where I was in my life, I didn't feel like either of those candidates had earned my vote. I considered myself a Democrat at the time. I loathed Hillary Clinton and the entire Clinton machine. And if you really want to get into it, I voted for Bernie Sanders in the primary.
Oh, Jesus.
You want to talk about a conversion? You want to talk about a conversion? I voted for Bernie Sanders in the New York State primary. That's where I was.
End of flashback.
Step number 1, the Trump gambit. First, you declare your allegiance to President Trump and declare that you're not really alt-right, even though you obviously are. You show up to lectures wearing a MAGA hat in order to get the media to cover it, and in order to demonstrate that you are truly a representative of the 63 million Trump voters. You call yourself America First, hijacking Trump's slogan, but what you actually mean is white Americans first. The media eat it up because the media love nothing better than, of course, lumping Trump in with particularly this group. You don't have to take my word for it. You can just ask Andrew Anglin, the neo-Nazi who runs the Daily Stormer. He posted a calendar of events for alt-righters to attend and attack, including this particular event. And he wrote last week, quote, "I think basically, we've got a model going forward that is going to work. If we get questions, we'll take questions, but simply being there and heckling in the audience relentlessly is extremely effective. And you can meet other like-minded people there this way as well. Remember, we're all good optics, American nationalists now. Longtime readers will remember this is something I pushed very hard while others were dressing up in neo-Nazi costumes. And by talking about these issues instead of saying, gas the kikes or whatever, we are more or less immune to being fired or kicked out of school if doxxed. You just, if somebody calls you alt-right, you say, no, of course I'm not an alt-right neo-Nazi racist white supremacist. I'm just an America First nationalist and a MAGA supporter. Now, this is a clever tactic. It is. Donald Trump is many things. He is not a white supremacist, and he is not an anti-Semite. His daughter is an Orthodox Jew, so is his son-in-law, so are all of his policy advisors, or at least many of his policy advisors with regard to the Middle East.
Who did you support in the primary?
At Cruz.
And Cruz says, vote your conscience.
Yeah, he does say that, but I would vote my conscience regardless of what Cruz said. I don't take my cues from Ted Cruz.
Who will you vote for?
I have no plans to go to the top of the ticket right now. I'll vote down ticket. I'll vote for Republican congressional candidates and senatorial candidates. I'm also in California, so my vote doesn't matter, so.
But at the head of the gutless snakes, speaking of gutless snakes, enter Nicholas J. Fuentes. Nick Fuentes is a white supremacist, an actual white supremacist, with somehow a following online, which proves that, these people exist. They're fringe, they're a minority for sure. They are not at all representative of conservatives. I don't even think they are conservatives. And they would also tell you they're not conservatives. But they're there. They're certainly there.
So the President of the United States is an anti-American incompetence. The Democrat frontrunner is a corrupt liar. The Republican frontrunner is a fascist blowhard. The media wouldn't know the truth if it bit them on the leg, and the Islamists are trying to kill us. But don't panic. Just file in an orderly manner toward the exits, then calmly run for your life. I'm angry about political correctness, too. And so I am voting for Donald Trump because he just comes right out and makes fun of handicapped people and short people and anyone who doesn't have as much money as he does, and women especially. He makes fun of their looks and their periods, and he says they should be treated like shit. And I just think that's not exactly politically incorrect. That's more like evil, really. But I'm angry, so I'm voting for him. And I'm angry about free trade for some reason, and about people making stuff cheaper overseas so it costs less here and I can afford it. And I'm angry about the Democrats Donald Trump gave money to, and all the money we spend on entitlements that he says he'll keep spending. And so I'm voting for Donald Trump because I'm angry, and I don't make very good decisions when I'm angry. So maybe I should calm down and vote for someone else who would be like a better president and not such a schmuck. I'm Andrew Clavin for the Daily Wire.
And there's two ways to go: anger and nationalism, which has been done before in history. And you can go for nationalism, you can go for anger.
Trump is Adolf Hitler?
If you look at what's happening with Donald Trump and his playing to the lowest common denominator and to the anger in us, Adolf Hitler, we all look at Adolf Hitler in 1940. We should look at Adolf Hitler in 1929. He was a kind of a funny kind of character that said the things that people were thinking. Where Donald Trump takes it, I have absolutely no idea. But Donald Trump is a dangerous man with the things that he has been saying.
I don't want to say a problem, but I have far less respect for people who have claimed to be Tea Party conservatives or Christian conservatives doing these sort of mental gymnastics to justify the actions of somebody who basically wants to come in and take the greatest power grab the executive office has had, if you look at his proposals. Not once has Donald Trump's answer been, I don't think the government can fix this. Every now and then, wouldn't it just be good to hear politicians say, that sucks. I don't really know if I can fix it for you.
Right.
I would just like to hear someone say that.
So that's why you would want a real libertarian candidate then. Would you vote for Gary Johnson if he was a legit third-party guy, if he could get into the debate at 15%? Would you go for him?
Well, I've said this, if it's Trump versus Hillary, probably. Just because I don't believe, at this point, I think they're two sides of the same coin. I don't believe.
And they use that to cloak their anti-Semitic leanings and their racist leanings. And it's pretty gross. Guys. And I'll say this, now we're going to have a little come to Jesus moment.
I wish you would.
You don't have the luxury of the time that I grew up in, where nothing was online and we weren't tweeting and we weren't on Facebook and things like this weren't being filmed. You guys live in that reality. And you're young and you're not that experienced.
He doesn't like being on camera.
Upset and emotional.
He doesn't like being.
Years from now, you're going to regret.
Yeah, he's pissed.
You're going to regret.
He's fucking
being
pissed.
On camera and saying some of the things.
He's
that
fucking pissed.
The worst thing modern Christianity currently stands for is anti-homosexual marriage. Trump's insane rhetoric is hateful, yes, but worse, it takes away from a much more important conversation: the reform of Islam. On the one hand you have idiots like Trump, and on the other you have equally ignorant liberals.
Do you really think he knows the different duties of the executive, legislative, and judicial branches of government. The fact that I can't say so for sure that he does is extremely concerning, to say the least. I also don't sense he has any sort of moral center other than what's good for him at the very moment. He will say anything, quite literally anything, to stay in the news, and we simply have no idea how he would govern. His comments constantly toe the line between fact and fiction, and he seems deeply uninterested in other opinions than his own.
It's not easy to tick me off. I don't get angry often. But you mess with my wife, you mess with my kids, that'll do it every time. Donald, you're a sniveling coward, and leave Heidi the hell alone.
Will you support him as the nominee?
Great. I'm out to make money. I like money. Congratulations. It's a free market economy.
Now we want to get to questions, so here's how we're going to do it. There's always a lot of enthusiasm around it, and we're going to have 2 lines, because it seems that you get a lot of people. We're going to have a line for those people that disagree from the left, more like socialist, or just that kind of place, and some people that disagree from the far right, or whatever, the alt-right, whatever that is, they can go from this line. And,